According to Gallup, the cost of replacing an employee can cost 1/2 to 2 times that employee's annual salary. And by making recognition an important part of company culture, a 10,000 person organization can save $16.1 million annually due to reduced employee turnover. So, not only does creating a positive workplace culture benefit our team from a we take care of people and we believe people should be taken care of standpoint, it also makes really good business, financial, and economic sense. Now, I have a team of about 35 people, not a team of 10,000 people, but I have been really committed over the past 7 years of being a business owner and leader to developing a strong workplace culture and investing in the team that I have. As a result, I have seen low turnover and high loyalty among my team, which has strengthened my business in so many different ways. So let me do a quick introduction to my business, and then we'll dive into the importance of inclusion and what that looks like in terms of fostering a really positive and a kind of work environment where people want to be invested and want to give back to the work that they're doing. Welcome to my business, Chez Genèse. We are a French-inspired restaurant in downtown Greensboro, North Carolina, and we offer an integrated hiring model, meaning that 50% of our team is disabled and 50% is non-disabled, and we are on a mission to change the way that our world both views and employs people with disabilities. We are most famous, I think, for our weekend brunch, and in specific, our lemon ricotta pancakes. Before we dive into our 4 steps of building inclusion for the purpose of creating a strong and positive work environment and culture, I'm going to give you a quick definition of inclusion so we're starting off on the same page. The definition of inclusion, there are a lot of them, but that we use here at Chez Genèse is bringing others into the heartbeat of who we are and acceptance just as you are. So, step number 1, it's important that we see people as people and not as machines. The Industrial Revolution changed a lot of how work happened and took place in America and then around the world, switching from things being only operated by humans to oftentimes being operated by machines. And there's a lot of benefits to that. I'm not advocating for a world where we do away with machines or technology, but I am advocating for a world where people are considered like people and not treated like machines. Meaning that there is going to be a variation in output. Someone's 100% on a Monday might be different than their 100% on a Wednesday. We can't view energy and resources and output from a person as a constant. There's going to be some variable to that. Also recognizing that flaws and nuance are examples of our humanity. They actually reflect a lot of character, a lot of personalization. An example for me in my business is that we do all of our food here from scratch, and Zach's tomato tart might look slightly different than Marjorie's tomato tart or my tomato tart. And that's because each of us have different size hands. Each of us has a slightly different strength level. The way that we're going to form something is going to look a little bit different just because each of us is different as a person. But I do think that there's something charming and inviting and appealing from a guest's perspective or a customer's perspective that a person was involved in the making of their food. It wasn't something that came prepackaged or pre-processed from a factory where a machine did it. A person made it here in our space. We were looking for the same level of quality and the same consistency, but appreciating and noticing those little nuances and those differences can be a really important part of embracing the fact that we work with people and we're not working with robots or machines. Step number 2. People are seen and recognized for their own individual selves and that they have their own skill sets, dreams, identities, goals, etc. We can get in a trap, I think, as a business structure and as leaders when we think that everyone is going to be motivated by the same things, everyone is going to have the same kind of work style, everyone is going to have the same work need. There's going to be a variety of different motivators amongst our staff, and getting to know our people and our team as their whole individual wonderful selves is a really big part of not just validating who they are as a person, but then also from a leadership and a work perspective, leaning into the things that inspire them, the things that motivate and drive them, and incorporating that into our workplace instead of asking people to check that at the door. Someone's reasons for showing up to work and what may be encouraging them to do a good job is going to be different than what encourages me to show up to work and to do a good job. And if I'm treating everyone the exact same way in terms of treating them like they're all motivated by money, or they're all motivated by the social impact of what we're doing, or they're all motivated because they like food, then I'm going to miss out on the opportunity to get to know my team and then also encourage them to bring the things that they're passionate about into work and leverage that for the good of the business as a whole. Understanding and knowing your team isn't just an important part of building a positive environment, it's also part of instilling loyalty. Number 3, seeing people as being indispensable for your business or organization instead of replaceable. I've worked for bosses in the past who definitely had a revolving door of employees, and a big part of that was this feeling, which we all felt as a staff, that none of us were necessarily considered important or valuable to the business. If one of us left, then someone else was just immediately brought in. And then when that person left, somebody else was immediately brought in. I actually had for a while kind of a mindset that I didn't get emotionally attached to anyone on the team until they'd been there for about 3 months. And then you start emotionally detaching from people on the team at about the 1-year mark, because if they'd made it that long, that's about when they would leave again, which is a terrible feeling and sentiment. But that feeling and sentiment led to part of the turnover too, because there wasn't a feeling of I'm being considered, I am seen as being personally and individually valuable to this business. And so that's something that I really keep in mind with my team. Sure, I can hire another server. Sure, I can hire another prep cook, but I can't hire another Brianna. I can't hire another Molly. They are unique, and what they bring to my business and the ways that they contribute to the team, the way that they contribute and give to our guests is so wildly specific to them. And I want to see that, recognize that, appreciate that, and let them know that, so that there's a place of feeling like they actually get to be their whole selves at work, and that's an asset to the team and not something that I'm thinking or expecting can just be replaced by the next person who walks in the door. And then lastly, step number 4 is actually delighting in the people that work with you. This is something that I think is a really big part of inclusion that's oftentimes left out. And we talk about inclusion a lot in a disability space, but it's really important just in a workplace culture space as a whole. It's one thing to invite a person in, to bring them into what we're doing, and then it's another thing to actually celebrate who they are. And that's a component of acceptance that I think oftentimes gets left out. We can step in with a mindset of, you're welcome to be here. I accept you for who you are. But the thing that I think so much of us crave in life and in the world is to actually be delighted in, for people to be excited to see us, for people to be so happy about who we are as a person, and to notice the quirks and the characteristics and the things that just make us ourselves, and actually take time to affirm that, to recognize that, to celebrate that. And that can be done in big and small ways. I encourage the small ways on a daily basis, and then the big ways as we are able to. It's a big part of creating an environment that people want to be part of. Okay, that's gonna do it for today. We're wrapping up. Please, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. We are going to be talking about workplace culture and building a strong workplace culture over the next 4 to 6 weeks. So if you found today's video helpful, then stick around. We've got more to cover.